Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classics. This episode number 2486 and Doubleshot number 2380. Now, we have two DC trades. Like in the case, this is from the Pull app. Like in the case of the two Marvel trades, we're starting with a really bad trade and we're ending with a good one. And the bad trade is, not surprising, the worst comic from last year. Tim Drake Robin, Volume 1, Mystery at the Marina. Yeah, this book is bad. Oh gosh, this is bad. The story is bad. The artwork could be better because Reaaly, the artist, has done better work than this. It is written by the awful Megan Fritz Martin, which I tried to basically say, oh yeah, we have a good writer next to a bad writer. He didn't like that very much, thinks she's a good writer. And I'm like, has he never read this Robin series or her stupid 3-part backdoor Powerless awfulness? You know, the awfulness that led Tim Drake being out as bi. An outing that was not necessary at all. It was something that was not well received. I would not be surprised to hear if Megan Fritz Martin got death threats over this nonsense, and DC is basically zipping their mouths over this nonsense. But they pushed forward to this series, and a lot of people did not want this series to come out. Simply because of the writer. People hate the writer. But DC is like, la la la, we're not listening to you. We're gonna release this book anyways, and we're gonna keep this book publishing, even though this book freaking sucks. Yes. Now, I kept hoping every time this issue came out for this book that this be the end. This be the last issue. This be the last issue because this book freaking sucks. This book collects the first 6 issues of this 10-issue series. And by the way, do not you dare, DC, count this part of Tim Drake's legacy number because this book is awful. Why would you count an awful book as part of your legacy number for a book? Yes. So, it also collects the DC Comic Pride Tim Drake special, which the only thing about this special is Stephanie Bernard. That's it. The one thing that's got praised about this book, it has much better artwork. It's done by Billy Ortega. Despite the crappy writer, the artwork is actually better. Like, oh my gosh, if you're going to do this awful series, can you at least put some decent artwork into it? Yeah, and of course, the back rows drawn really well by this artist. It's like, wow, we're going to lead to a really good series. Nope. No, we're not. So, what's the story of this book? Okay, so basically Tim Drake is living on a boat. Yes, a boat. In a place called Marina. Which they have the story where, like, oh, there's this scum councilman who wants to basically evict everybody from this dock area. Why? Why would you evict people from this dock area? This makes no freaking sense. And also, for some stupid reason, Reaaly drew Tim Drake and Bernard as women. Yes. I knew about that. I saw this image released ahead of time. Yes. And for some strange reason, it's like, oh, let's have Reaaly frickin' suck at his job for an entire book. I think he drew all but like one issue for this whole series. Yeah. Let's not have Reaaly put out good quality artwork. The guy has done much better work than this. As a matter of fact, do you know what his preceding book was before this? He did Stephanie Phillips' Harley Quinn book. Yeah, he was the artist of the book for the first year and a half. And then he got removed from the book and moved on to this awfulness. Yeah, there's too much bending over. And the fact Tim Drake is basically drawn the same way the whole book, where he's drawn like a freaking woman. Now, I have no idea why this is. Like, some of the backgrounds look okay, but to look at Tim Drake as Robin in this artwork. Oh, good gosh. What the heck they do to his legs? Yeah, I mean, his mask looks fine. But my gosh, it's like Reaaly Roosevelt gave him the most skinniest. Like, he looks like a freaking twig. What the heck? Yeah, it's like when he's based, and of course, still draws him like he's a woman. And it's like this the entire book. Fights an electric monster here. The only character looks fine of this artwork is Batman. I'll show you Batman's, but oh good gosh. So and then we have Tim fighting a hallucination of the other Robins, including Stephanie when she was a Robin. Yes. But that's on the cover. Actually, yeah, it's in the main book. For some reason, he's finding hallucinations of Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, and Damien. Yeah, he's finding hallucinations of them because of the villain of this book. And oh, look, we have a giant-sized Robin for no reason. Yeah, and there's something else here, like, yeah, and one thing this artist loves having people do, he loves having people bending their backs for no reason. I mean, look at this. Look at this woman here. She's bending her back every time. Yes, Reaaly Roosevelt has where a lot of the characters have to bend their back a lot of the time. Apparently for no reason. Yeah, so Tim Drake in his boat. Yeah, and apparently have... And this is something quite strange, though. Apparently have Clayface pop up in this book. Yes, frickin' Clayface. And look, here's the guy who's supposed to be his landlord. And once again, we have him bending over. Like, when you go down a set of steps, if you want to basically bend your head over, fine. But not where you're like, oh, let's bend my back the whole time. I keep my back bent the whole time while I'm in the frickin' book. Yeah, let's have him draw a sandwich look really sloppy. The back girls look okay. Yes, the back girls look okay. But, yeah. And here's basically a highlight. Here's another highlight of really terrible artwork. Yeah. Twig Drake talking to the back girls. Yes. He looks like a freaking twig. I'm like, his legs are usually pretty muscular, not that freaking skinny. And look, here's your bad guy. I think it's supposed to be a guy, but looks like a woman. Yes. And we have Nightwing randomly show up with this piece of garbage. Yep. I mean, there's a hallucination of Batman here, and he's the only character who appears in this book who actually looks pretty decent. Oh yeah, this is something Chuck Dix posted on. Yeah, they're gay. Who frickin' cares? The answer is nobody cares because people hated this stupid idea of, oh, let's out Tim Drake as bi because we can't get over Batwoman as a lesbian. That's because you put crappy writers on a freaking book. No, look, here's Batman. And I'm like, wow, he actually can draw a character that looks like a freaking twig. And also, here's something. This is how Reaaly Roosevelt regularly draws Batman. I'm like, yeah, you have like one character who appears in this whole book who actually looks pretty decent. Well, everyone else's book look like a freaking woman. Does Batman look like a woman? No, he doesn't. Because I think Reaaly Roosevelt likes Batman, drawing Batman better than freaking Tim Drake. Yeah. This just, wow. It's like, yeah. And the book ends with having basically Tim and Bernard making out. Oh, good gosh almighty. This book is bad. Oh, good gosh, it's so awful. I like some of the variant covers. Yeah. I like the variant covers of this one. Look at this one. Claire Hermod. Now, is some positives of this book? Well, here's the positives. I like the variant covers. I like how Batman is drawn. And the Batgirls. That looks okay. But otherwise, the book is terrible. Yep. And here's my rating for this book. I give Tim Drake Robin, Volume 1, Mystery Memoir, aka The Garbage Book, a 0 out of 10. The book is just awful. Why the heck DC greenlit this book, I have no freaking idea. Like, it is just bad all the way around. It is just a bad book. I mean, it's not that interesting. The villain is absolutely atrociously drawn. It's like, this is clearly supposed to be a guy, but it's drawn like a woman. I mean, Tim Drake is drawn the same way, where he's drawn like a woman, and he's freaking too skinny. Like, my gosh. They really will forget how to draw a Robin. I mean, he drew Damian in the Batman Shadow book. He drew him great there, but yet in this book, it's just bad. Oh my gosh, it's bad. But here is a much better book. Excuse me, we have Green Lantern Corps, Emerald Eclipse, Prelude to Blackest Night. Written by and drawn by competent creators. Peter J. Tomasi on the writing, Patrick Leese in the artwork. People love this duo. Yeah, too bad Tomasi up until recently wasn't doing very much. And now apparently he's doing a Green Lantern book. Yeah, he's going back to Green Lantern, which I think is awesome. I think he's doing the Hal Jordan book. Yep. This book collects issues 33 to 39. Mostly for this book, it's basically the Green Lantern Corps having skirmishes with the Sinestro Corps, the Red Lanterns. And this happens to a lot of the book, but the biggest takeaway from this book is this is where Sanuk, two things about her. One, this is where they kind of in a way they basically progress the relationship between her and Kyle Rayner. And number two, she finds out that the evil Sinestro is her father. I mean, she's practically the main character of the storyline. Yeah, and also, we also have it where Lisa Dark goes to see the Book of Black, and she gets shoved into the book by Scar, one of the people, and of course, that was a lead into Blackest Night. Yep. But this book is just fantastic. Done at a time where DC Comics were pretty competent and basically telling a good story. Yep. Nothing bad about this book per se. The artwork is excellent. Patrick Leese does an excellent job. Everybody's drawn look like they're supposed to be. It is just all around really good book and 100 times better than the Tim Drake Robin book. I give this book, here's a shocker for you, a 10 out of 10. Because this book was actually pretty good. Like, wow. And with that also, with this volume, I have effectively one more trade left to go for this book. Yep, one more. And then, of course, what's at the go for Green Lantern Corps? Well, there's the first volume for the series, obviously. And also some backup stories from the Tales of Green Lantern Corps stuff. Now, I will be reviewing that in the future as sort of a semi-replacement for this one. I do have I can access online, but I can access now. I've not reviewed the first one for Tales of Green Lantern Corps. I've not reviewed the first regular Green Lantern Corps trade, which is basically Green Lantern Corps Volume 1. I think it's like Beware the Power, I believe it is, where it had collected like 9 issues in the book, which I'm looking forward to reviewing that. And then after I review that one, along with Tales, I have like one more trailer for Green Lantern Corps. Then after that, I think like the only thing left to go after that is just new Green Lantern Corps miniseries, and I think it's also Green Lantern Quarterly, and that's pretty much it. Basically, a couple more books afterwards. But yeah, love Green Lantern Corps. Excellent stuff here. And when it comes to Green Lantern Corps, it's done at a time which people love the Green Lantern books. When Green Lantern was at a high, because it was published at a point in time which was this and Green Lantern. Too bad it's not been Green Lantern ongoing series published since 2014. Yes. I look back and reading this, I'm like, wow. And here's a strange thing about the Green Lantern. Did you know that nothing is deemed not canon when it comes to Green Lantern Corps? Yeah, all the Green Lantern books, all the Jeff Johns stuff, including Green Lantern Corps, with the exception of one exception of Haldorg and the costume change, pretty much everything is deemed canon. Yeah, really good stuff here. Yep. So yeah, that's that particular review. Next up, one more Comic Corner, and I'm going to go ahead and watch Back Family. Okay, next video. Bye.